in less time at Walmart.
Breaking news! Walmart and Kamala Harris have collaborated and came together and now selling a new book titled The Achievements of Kamala Harris. And as you all know, all the pages are blank. I'm not surprised. This is incredible right here. Now, I know we're sitting here laughing, but, let's get on a serious note. I like to at least uplift our spirits before we got to start diving into all this guck, of the world that we live in. But the Biden-Harris administration, as it relates to FEMA. Now, it's been said that it's misinformation to say that, FEMA has been helping illegals, but, none of the hurricane victims. And the news and everything has been saying is misinformation. That's wrong. Woo, woo, woo. But today we're going to see the illegal immigrants lodging in New York City hotels with daily turn down service, 3 meals a day, health insurance, debit cards. U.S. citizens devastated by Hurricane Helene only get a $750 loan. Yeah, big difference.
¿Y por cuánto tiempo han estado quedándose aquí en Rojo Hotel?
Desde yo llegué de julio,
¿Cuántos meses es eso?
como 7 meses.
¿Y han tenido que pagar alojamiento?
No, nada, no he pagado nada.
Es 100% gratis.
Sí.
¿Y le dan almuerzo, desayuno?
Sí, le dan cosas de niños, personales, nos dan pañales, lo que necesiten.
¿Y ahí en el hotel hacen limpieza de las puertas?
Sí, hacen. Sí, todos los días hacen limpieza, cambian las sábanas, hacen aseo.
¿Todos los días hacen eso?
Sí, todos los días.
¿Han poder conseguir trabajo ustedes?
No.
Yo
no.
Si ustedes tuvieran un problema de medicina, ¿cómo podrían recibir ayuda con eso?
Bueno, con una tarjeta, la del seguro de Medicare.
Y nosotros tenemos la Metro Plus y eso nos abarca el seguro que nosotros necesitamos para los niños y también nosotros nos beneficiamos de eso.
¿Se sintieron apoyados gracias a nuestro presidente Joe Biden?
Bueno, sí, porque si no estamos trabajando ni nada, él es el que nos está ayudando prácticamente.
Now, again, reports like this are being labeled as misinformation. But I want y'all to see this clip right here of Tom Cotton, who cuts through Kristen Welker's BS regarding Hurricane Helene. I'm always mess that name up, Helene, noting that Democrats always have money to spend, except when it comes to Americans in need. Let's check this clip out, y'all. Y'all judge for yourself.
My broader question to you, I think, is about this misinformation. Do you think this is a time to put falsehoods aside, like the idea that FEMA funds are being redirected to migrants, which is just not true?
Well, it is true that FEMA and the Department of Homeland Security have been spending billions of dollars on migrants. Now, I understand some people say they're separate funds, but we just passed a short-term spending bill. It's very common for the administration to come and ask for permission to move money between funds, especially to prepare for emergencies. And second, I would note that this administration seems to have no problem finding money when they want to spend it on their priorities. When they need hundreds of billions of dollars to pay off student loans for graduate students in gender studies programs, they somehow find it. When it's trying to get helicopters to deliver food and water and cellular service and life-saving medicine into these mountain valleys, they somehow can't seem to find the money.
Man. Now, like I said, I'm just here to present y'all the clips. I ain't here to tell you what to think or how to think. You never catch that type of vibe from me, man. I'm just here to present the information. Anyhow, Elon Musk shared this on Twitter with the caption, "Saving American lives should be priority number one," because once you hear the context in which, oh my God, you're going to be sitting back and you're going to go, ugh. But FEMA disaster preparedness meeting. And this is an actual sentence that was said in said meeting. Quote, "We should focus our efforts on the LGBTQIA people. They struggle before the storm." Seriously.
Sparked a few things in my mind, thinking about preparedness and how you said, LGBTQIA people and people who have been disadvantaged already are struggling. They already have their own things to deal with. So you add a disaster on top of that, it's just compounding on itself. And I think that is maybe the why of why we're having these discussions is because it isn't being talked about. It isn't being socialized. We're not paying attention to this community. Thank you so much. Maggie.
Thank you. Yeah, there are a couple of things that are intersecting in my mind here. One of them is the culture of emergency management as an organization, as an industry in the United States specifically, not abroad. This has, and my cat sometimes does this, she gets really loud suddenly, so you'll have to just allow for the little meowing in the background. The shift that we're seeing right now is a shift in emergency management from utilitarian principles where everything is designed for the greatest good for the greatest amount of people to disaster equity. But we have to do more, right? And so this topic is intersecting, I think, with a number of other topics where we have to look at policies and understand to what extent they have disadvantaged communities that had less assets, communities that had pre-existing vulnerabilities in accessing disaster-related recovery supports.
Now, mind you, they saying that FEMA's money isn't being used to help illegals, but you're about to watch CNN and the White House admit 3 separate times that FEMA money is being used to support illegal migrants.
So now the White House says that for those cities that they know are receiving an influx of migrants, that includes New York City, as you just said, Chicago, and here in Washington, D.C., there is somebody from FEMA, that federal emergency management agency, ready and willing to really help those cities when it comes to management of these influx of migrants, including reimbursing some of those cities. That's a part of the kind of the response that the White House is now giving.
The administration has been in regular touch with the cities, and FEMA regional administrators have been meeting with city officials on site to coordinate available federal support from FEMA and other federal agencies. Funding is also available through FEMA's emergency food and shelter program to eligible local governments and nonprofit organizations upon request to support humanitarian relief for these migrants. So FEMA regional administrators have been meeting with city officials on site to coordinate available federal support from FEMA and other federal agencies. Funding is also available through FEMA's emergency food and shelter program to eligible local governments and non-for-profit organizations upon request to support humanitarian relief for migrants.
What's happening is it's just sad, man. I'm going through the I just typed in FEMA and X right now, just kind of going through the timeline. I'm seeing Elon Musk, he posted about 3 days ago, SpaceX engineers are trying to deliver Starlink terminals and supplies to devastated areas in North Carolina right now, and FEMA is both failing to help and won't let others help. This is unconscionable. He also wrote, they took this video a few hours ago where you can see the level of devastation roads. Let me get y'all on the screen. Okay, so yeah, they took the video a few hours ago where you can see the levels of devastation roads, houses, electricity, water supply, and ground internet connection completely destroyed, which is why when Kamala Harris said that all they had to do was apply for the loan, I'm sitting back going, hey, you should probably put something in place for those. Like it was almost like a smack in the face. He also wrote, FEMA wouldn't let them land to deliver critical supplies. My blood is boiling. So this is all being reported. Multiple sources on the ground are confirming that there is a blockade. Somebody wrote, now this was 3 days ago. We got to see how this develops since then. Hodge twins wrote up under here. We have a team on the ground and in the air. We can get them to people that need them. Let us know. Kamala Harris, I ain't gonna read that. It's treason. Somebody else wrote, yeah. So we can see the sentiment behind the American citizens, well, the world right now as it relates to how FEMA's and the Biden-Harris administration is handling this disaster.
My name is Casey Webb. I'm from Swannanoa, North Carolina. I lost everything I have. I just did an inspection with FEMA last night. They told me that I was denied and post-dated my letter for the 5th of October when my inspection was done on the 4th. They have not seen receipts. They have not seen pictures or anything of the things that were in my home and denied me. We have still failed to receive a $750 check. The rooms that FEMA wants you to go stay in, during the time of your disaster relief are in Newport, Tennessee, which they sent 500 people there and then it flooded. I will be in Asheville all day long. If anybody wants to link up with me and talk about what's going on, inbox me and let me know. This is disgusting. I've never seen the government fail us worse.
What's happening? We're at the airport again. Well, we're at the airport today. Yesterday, they ran like 30-something planes, a bunch of trips up to Western North Carolina, Asheville, that whole area, wherever they can land and drop off supplies. And FEMA has flown in like 10 or more helicopters and blocked a runway here at Greenville downtown, completely took over, or almost took over the operation, just because they're doing some good here. FEMA's going to come here and try to stop it. And they took over one of the hangars over here too. We'll show you as much as we can. It's absolutely ridiculous. Look at the helicopters that are blocking one of the runways here at Greenville downtown, all flown in by FEMA helicopter pilots. And they're just sitting there doing nothing. And you have Greenville Aviation over here taking in all kind of supplies, everything that people want to drop off. There's a huge operation going on over here. Yesterday we ran about 30-something planes, or they did. I didn't fly anything, but just putting stuff in planes, taking it up to Asheville and other areas, and they came in and halted. FEMA came in and halted all that operation. And there they are, just sitting over there, doing nothing. When there's thousands of pounds of supplies over there that could be taken, they're just sitting there doing nothing. And blocking the runway with however many helicopters.
Now, I do want to bring this up. Everybody has been saying, it's been speculated that the $750 that FEMA and Kamala Harris discussed about giving hurricane victims, they're saying that it's actually a loan. That they're going to need to pay it back. But we had a community note who came up under it and clarified that FEMA assistance in general does not have to be repaid. Now, mind you, it says in general, another government branch, SBA, does offer low interest loans to help recover from declined disasters. OP's claim in this particular video that's above right here that the $750 serious needs assistance FEMA's offer is a loan. They're saying it's false and it has been officially debunked. So I wanted to make sure I reported on that as well. Not only is this insane, it's just sad, we living in America today where I'm starting to get the impression that our government doesn't care about its citizens. It's just me though.